Hi, hello and welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome to a quick snippet to discuss something out of a book I'm reading. Liefde in verhouding in Dutch, The State of Affairs in English, written by Dutch or Belgian, one of the two, / American, I think Belgian even, Belgian / American clinical psychologist and therapist Esther Perel. Her work, her body of work, what she focuses on consists mainly of relationships and infidelity in relationships, a topic she has become an expert in over the years, both through research and through practice. This book is an interesting insight into a different look towards a topic that is normally so controversial. People don't want to think or talk about it. People don't want to talk about infidelity because it seems like something icky, something taboo, something we need to stay away from. Esther tells us, no, talk about it, especially in your relationships and especially even before it happens. I digress. I could probably make a bunch of videos about this book, but one thing that stood out to me and I wanted to make a video about was the clear-cut separation into 3 different possible outcomes or 3 different categories, if you will, for what happens after the infidelity is discovered. The partners in the relationship that either goes to shit or continues to exist can use 3 approaches. The first approach was called the sufferers. These are people that really stay stuck in the past. They often head for divorce. They can't get out of the situation. They can't see new perspectives. They can't seem to forgive each other. This is a typical couple where the partner that didn't cheat keeps on reminding the other person like, oh, you should be so glad I'm still with you after everything you did. At every occasion, the cheating partner gets reminded of their deeds, of how wrong they were, of how barbaric and vile their actions are. She words it beautifully here as they are sharing a cell in the prison of marriage. Nobody knows why these people stay together, why they don't just separate. The partner that cheated is just a pile of shit, a pile of trash. He or she is the summation of all their missteps, all their wrongdoings, everything they fucked up in the relationship. That's the entire perspective that there still is of this person. He is no longer seen as a person, he is seen as someone evil. And still these people stay together. They are the sufferers. They keep on repeating the same pattern, being angry at each other, being hostile towards each other, and yet they stay together. Then there's the second category, number 2, the builders. They attach themselves to the beautiful history they have, to what they have built, to everything they have invested in and built up upon throughout the years, and they want to hold onto this beautiful side of their relationship. They try to forgive, rarely forget, but they try to forget the affair. They try to forget the infidelity. They try to revert the marriage back to a state where it was like okay, where it was functional. They try to be happily married again, but like by going back to where they were already. Infidelity can put on display a bunch of parts of the relationship. Both the very negative parts, which we maybe were avoiding, but also the beautiful parts, the beautiful strengths you have shared and built up, the meaning you have shared and created together. Infidelity can also bring that back to life. And the builders focus on that second part of all the beautiful, strong parts where you have built a relationship upon, and they try to rebuild the house they were living in. They don't want any major renovations. They don't want things to change drastically, but they want to go back to the old days, to when everything was still okay. These are often the couples that are heavily invested into family, into their family, into community values, into staying together because it is kind of an obligation, because it's the essence of life, the fact that they are embedded in a family and the fact that they have built up a family. I think you can imagine people with children are probably more inclined towards rebuilding the relationship for their children's sake. Their dedication towards each other and towards the relationship is what keeps them going, is what keeps them alive. It is the essence of their person. It is what makes them beautiful as human beings, and they want to keep on investing in that part of themselves, and therefore in the relationship rebuild what was lost for a second, but forget what happened and forgive and move on. Then, the third and final category, the explorers, where the infidelity has kind of caused the chemical reaction that was needed to revitalize the relationship. The infidelity made them reevaluate what they really want in their relationship. The infidelity made their relationship stronger, or they want to channel the infidelity into such a stance, at least, into such an effect, into having such an impact, at least. The infidelity cheating, it's still going to be painful for these people, but they might be able to derive some meaning from their suffering, make Viktor Frankl proud, derive some meaning in a sense of maybe this cheating is like the little seed planted and something positive can grow out of it after all. These people often really find each other, they really connect, they find a new lust, a new longing for each other, they often have a whole lot of passionate sex. Because it's driven by both fear and reconnection. What is needed, according to the author of the book, is a tolerance of ambiguity, a tolerance of the unknown, a tolerance of living in limbo in your relationship for a while you are exploring the meaning and the value of the infidelity. While you are exploring unmet needs on both sides, look at it from a meta perspective for a second. Discover the hidden perspectives, discover the unmet needs on both sides of the relationship, and from that exploration, from that expedition into the depths, into the nooks and crannies of what is actually going wrong or what is still going right in that relational contact you have with the other partner, from there start to see how can we move on. These guys want the big renovations, they don't want things to just go back to how they were, no, they want to create something new, something more valuable, something everlasting, potentially, hopefully. These people lose their first relationship or they lose their first marriage, but if they really want to, if they can tap into the resilience that is one of the foundations of their relationship, they can embark on an emotional journey in the form of a second relationship or a second marriage. These explorers often see the infidelity and the cheating crisis or scandal as just one of the situations that occurred during their relationship. It's a hurdle to take. It's a little challenge, but it's not like something that determines everything. It's not something that suddenly seals the fate of the relationship away. It doesn't make it doomed to fail. It doesn't make it guaranteed to explode. No, it's just something that happened and something they have to deal with. Don't mind my outfit, by the way, but it's literally like Siberia here in my room, in my little recording room. Quick recap. 3 possible outcomes after infidelity or after cheating is discovered. The first one, the sufferers. They linger, the suffering remains. They don't build anything, they don't look for new meanings. They stay in their pain together and they keep on reliving it, reliving the trauma. The second one, the builders. They try to rebuild their house. They try to connect with the foundations the house was previously built on, the house being their relationship in this metaphor, and they try to relive those foundations, to revitalize them a little bit without changing anything, just digging them up out of the ground again without like altering them in any sense. They just want to go back to the good old days. The third category, the strongest category, the category that uses the resilience inherent to their relationship, the explorers. They try to look for meaning in the infidelity and the cheating, and they try to create something new, something that will protect them in the future for bad things like this to happen. They see it as one of the hurdles their relationship had to take, but not as something that immediately throws the relationship out of the window or throws the possibility of a healthy relationship out of the window. They have mildness and patience toward each other, and they get through it stronger than before. And then I guess there you also partly have your answer to the question like, what can I do if I discover infidelity? If I discover that my partner is cheating, the best approach is often to stay mild, stay patient, and explore. Don't ask all the gruesome, detailed questions of like, how many times did you have sex? Where did you have sex? What's the color of her panties or his underwear? Was he better in bed than me? Do you fantasize about him when you're having sex with me? Don't go into those questions, but ask questions like, what did it mean for you? What was different and what did you like about having a sexual relationship with someone forbidden? How do we get over this? What can I do to fulfill the needs that seem to be unfulfilled on your side? If you can bring yourself to have the mental stability and the calmness to ask those kinds of questions, you will explore the meaning of the infidelity and come out of it stronger. It's a hard task. Get a therapist to help you. Often beneficial. I'm a bit biased because I'm a therapist in training myself, but you get the gist. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.